Hi everyone, Paul down at CCRV. This is our designated channel for UK fifth wheel owners, so welcome to the channel. What we're going to do, a little video here on Dave doing some service work on one of the units. They brought it back, they've done a few miles, so we're going to check the brakes and generally do a safety check over the whole van. So this little video will be about some of the things that are handy to have done. You know, if you've done a few miles, if you've been touring around, give us a shout and we'll gladly do a service job for you. But this is just showing you roughly what needs doing and how to do it, give or take. Okay? Right, safety wise, we suggest when you're actually jacking the vehicle up, I'll show you how it's done on a bottle jack. What we suggest you do is leave it hooked up to your truck. This is our truck, but you leave it hooked up to your truck. That way, if it does fall off the jack or something, it's safe. We say you put the legs down so they're just maybe half an inch, you see, because when we lift the weight off, obviously we take the weight off, they'll be back down flat again. And then at the back we say you just put the old rear jacks down so they're just off the floor. So that makes it safe. So if it did fall off the bottle jack, because if you have a look here, the bottle jacks are a little bit precarious when you're shaking about on these things, obviously. But basically that's what we use, a bottle jack on one of the axles, and that will take the weight off of one of the wheels, you see? Or both of the wheels, actually. All right, now Dave's going to demonstrate how to whip the wheel off. We use one of these nut guns, so sort of cheating a little bit. What size is that, Dave?
19mm.
19mm. Simply the wheel comes off like that. What we do is when we put them back on, we do them up with the nut gun, and then just slightly, once the weight's all on it, we use a bar, just this thing here, this one here, just to do the final tweaks on the nuts so they're nice and tight. This is Dave just getting it off. Right, this is one of the main things we do. We actually take the brakes off. I'm not sure how long they've had this. How long have they had this one, Dave? How long have they had it? Yeah, what are they, a year or so?
Yeah, over a year.
Yeah, over a year, so they've done a few miles in, I think. This is show you the brakes. There you go, here's the grease. These are the magnetic brakes, and these are the pads. So these look in pretty good order, don't they?
Yep, no problems with any of that.
Yeah, so you can see the slight wear on there, but I'm not sure how many miles they've done, maybe a couple of thousand. But if you were going to go head off to Spain and stuff like this is a good idea to check all this before you go.
Just take the drums
if the van's a few years old, because people sort of just get in them, off they go. And they don't really check anything. And we had some cases where people end up with no brakes on their van. Right, so what about the dust in there, Dave? Do we blow that out?
Yeah,
just buff that out with the airline. There's not too much dust in there, a little bit of dust in there. So basically we blow all the dust out, check the brake line in, check them for operation, just show that they operate there, Dave.
So your brake controller in your cab, or the brake controller, energises this magnet. That tries to cling onto the brake drum, and as it does, it expands the shoes. The brake just pulls the magnet on.
Oh yeah,
and the brakes
give it
expand.
a tug. There you go. See the brakes moving? Well, that's how it works.
On there. They've got self-adjusters on the bottom, so the brakes do adjust themselves up automatically. That's a good idea when you put the drums back on. Just check on the back, a couple of notches, just get them nice and tight. Repack the bearings.
So they're basically self-adjusting brakes, are they?
Yep. Yeah, you've got self-adjusters down here.
Yeah.
And,
this looks in pretty good order, this one, quite clean. Yeah, I think they stay dry, don't they? They don't really get wet or moisture inside. But that's brake, that is all the brakes that are in these, so. And there's the grease, so we repack that. And this is a grease nipple here.
That's it.
Put a bit of grease on the bearing to pack the bearings
back up, little bit of free play in your bearings, and re-grease it all.
That's basically your brake.
Back on.
Right, I'll show you Dave putting it back together again.
Come on.
I'll pop the old drum back on. Simply slides back on there.
The bearing back in there.
The bearing has all lovely grease on that, look at that.
We'll get a grease gun and grease tail up.
We'll grease that back up. Why is that red, that grease, Dave? Is that a special grease or just the American grease?
Yes, not very high temperature, or
maybe. Then we spin that nut on.
Turn it up. Nice and tight.
Nice and tight.
Make it tight. Just tap the drum, nice and free. Yeah. And then just back that off a fraction.
Just back that off.
So you've got a bit of free play in your bearings, so your bearing's not tight.
Right, brilliant. Good tip.
And then cap back on. Rim's done with the cap. Cap on the nut, and we're done.
Oh, there it is, there, Dave.
That's it. There you go. So you got your safety. Safety on there. So that basically goes on there like that. That's it. Just tap that on, make sure you got it on tight. And then the cap. And tap the cap back on.
There you go, that's putting the drum back on. So I'll give you a few tips on that one. So this is the sort of thing you should do maybe if you do 2,000 or 3,000 miles. This is the sort of thing you should check, really. It's all the safety point of view, that you have got good brakes. We have had them where we take them off and there's literally metal to metal, and the brakes fall into pieces. There you go, that's a fresh one. Now you can see the dust in there, look. You look in the bottom there, you see that dust? This is all that does sort of make some difference to the efficiency of the brakes. And you see it's basically very dusty in there. So this is where the brakes have been used. And I say periodic servicing, this is the sort of thing that needs doing on these. You can't just drive off and use it night and day and not expect to do anything. Right, we're going to blow that out now.
Stand back a bit.
Stand back so we don't get a mouthful of it. There you go, you can see the dust that is in there. Wow, very old dust. I should probably wear a mask. There you go. Alright, so that's that all off. So Dave's just going to rough up the old brake surfaces there. As I say, the pads have got plenty of meat on them. So what we do is rub a bit of emery cloth over there and just rough them up and get them back to new. And then reassemble. That's one of the jobs we do down here, check the brakes. You can do it yourself. If you're a reasonably competent mechanic, you see it doesn't take long, just watch the video, refer back to it, you can see exactly what to do. Crucial that you don't over tighten the nut when reassembling, that is crucial. We've had one customer did that, burnt the axle out. There you go. Right, I'll show you what we do, other little bits and pieces we do. Obviously we leave it up to the customer if he's got any problems, that he leaves us a list. And then we can take care of it. But general maintenance, what we do is work out the safe operation of the front legs. So they basically go up and down and everything. So you see these they haven't been out, say, in the winter where you get a bit of rust and debris and salt off the roads, and these can corrode. So it's worth putting a little bit of grease on those. That's worth doing. Make sure the safe operation of the handbrake system, which we put on there. We'll check the leisure batteries, just make sure they're taking a decent charge. And on some of them, we do the slides. Let's go and have a look at this one over here. All right, if we look under here, this one's got the slides out. So can you see under here, we've got this sort of bar with the teeth on it here. So what we do is rub some grease in there, and this is quite important, this little cog here, because that can seize up with all the rubbish off the roads and salt and crap like that. That can seize up, so that does periodically want greasing up to make sure it's working, because when the slide goes in and out, that turns. On these back legs, most of them have electric back legs, they've got a sort of gearing in there, so we make sure again that we grease them all up in there. So that, there you go, you can see it turning. We'll make sure there's some grease and whatever in there, so that doesn't corrode and seize up, because all it'll do is just break the motor and stuff like that. So that's the rear leg. So that's basically a little video on all the mechanical aspects that we check through the service. There is a lot of other stuff inside, but we'll probably do another video on that. So again, if you got to the end, thanks for watching the the channel, watching the video. And please like and subscribe, real helps us out. Again, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching our videos. If you like them, subscribe.